हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It begins with Arjuna's request. Arjuna says that, Hey Bhagwan, after listening to your supreme words, all my doubts, all my confusions have disappeared. You have revealed yourself as the very cause of this world. In you only the world is sustained and everything dissolves into you. Arjuna says that I want to see your form, how you yourself are expressing as this vast world. I want to see you in your Vishwarupa. So if it is possible, please show me your form. So Bhagavan says that you can see my form having variety of forms, different forms, different shapes, different colors. And you can see all the devatas, Aditya, Rudra, Ashwina, Maruta, and you can even see those things which nobody has seen before. You can also see what you want to see, what will happen about this war, that also you can see. But you can't see me with your naked eyes, with your this present eyes. I will give you divya chakshu. Natumam shakyase drashtum anena eva swachakshusha divyam dadamite chakshuhu. I will give you a divine vision. So with that divine vision, you will be able to see me in my glorious form. So having said that, Bhagwan started showing his Vishwarupa. So here Sanjaya is describing what is happening. So verse number 9, Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya Uvacha evam uktva tato rajan Mahayogeshwaro Harihi Darshayamasa Parthaya Paramam Rupamaishwaram. So Sanjaya Uvacha. See, Sanjaya is the minister who is speaking to Dhritarashtra, as we have seen in the first chapter, that this is a Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra, and Sanjaya is narrating the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. So before the war began, the war went on for 18 days. Before the war began, Vedavyasji, who is a great rishi and Bhagwan's avatar, Vedavyasji met Dhritarashtra, and he asked Dhritarashtra that, do you want to see this war? Dhritarashtra is born blind. So Vedavyasji asked Dhritarashtra, would you like to see the war? Dhritarashtra said, no, I don't want to see the war. In fact, Dhritarashtra was scared of seeing this war. Somewhere deep within, maybe he knew what will happen. So many people will get killed. His own near and dear ones will get killed. But due to his great attachment to Duryodhana, he did not prevent this war from happening. Only Dhritarashtra had this power. He could have stopped the war, but his attachment to Duryodhana was so strong that he just gave way. And maybe he had a little bit of hope that maybe we will win this war because we have a greater army. So that hope also was there. So Vedavyaji asked Dhritarashtra, do you want to see this war? I can give you your drishti, you can see. Dhritarashtra said no. But I want to know all that is happening in the war, in the battlefield. So you give this drishti to someone else so that I can hear from him. So Sanjaya was a great a person, a very sattvic person, a minister of in the darbar of Dhritarashtra. And Sanjaya had great affection for Krishna and for the Pandavas also, but had welfare in his heart towards Dhritarashtra and the Kauravas also. And Sanjay also wanted to prevent, somehow this war should be prevented. So Sanjaya, by the blessings of Vedavyasji, got this divine vision. And through this vision, Sanjay could see what is happening in the battlefield. Remaining in the palace, he could, with his divine vision, he could see what is happening in the battlefield. Just like nowadays we have these cameras everywhere and we can see what is happening even though physically we may be far away. Like even the cricket match, when it happens, they have so many cameras all over that sitting in your own drawing room, you can see all that is happening on the cricket field. Every ball which is bowled, every wicket which is taken, the reaction of the crowd there assembled, everything one can see, one can hear, and one can get the feel of the whole match sitting comfortably in one's room. Similarly, this Sanjaya had this ability, got this ability by Vedavyasji's blessings. He could see what is happening. He could hear all that is happening there. He could also focus his attention on any particular person and even know what is happening in their mind. So a very spatial vision was given to Sanjaya. So the war, this Mahabharata war, happened for 18 days. 18 days the war was fought. This number 18 comes many times. Even this Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. So 18 days the war was fought. In the beginning, Bhishma Pitamaha was the commander-in-chief, and he had this Varadan of Ichchamaran, that only if he wish, he can die. Nobody can kill him. So, Kauravas, though they knew that what they are doing is wrong, but they had a little bit of hope that with the help of Bhishma Pitamaha, then Dronacharya, the greatest archer and teacher of Pandavas and Kauravas, and so many great warriors, Ashwathama, and so many of them were there on the side of Kauravas. So they had hope in their heart that maybe we will win this war. But still they were hesitant, and some fear was also there because they knew what they are doing is wrong. So the war began, and it was fought both the sides fought, and so many people, they died, so many warriors died. And on the 10th day of the battle, Bhishma Pitamaha, he was shot by Arjuna. Hundreds of arrows were shot into his body, and Bhishma Pitamaha fell down on the battlefield, lying on the bed of arrows. It was a very shocking thing for everyone. The Kauravas were shocked. They never expected such a thing to happen, because Bhishma Pitamaha was very powerful. And we know he was the avatar of one of the Vasus. So everyone was shocked. And when Dhritarashtra and Arjuna fought with Bhishma Pitamaha, and he shot arrows, and everyone knew that Arjuna had great affection and love for Bhishma Pitamaha, that they thought that he will never do such a thing. He will never shoot Bhishma Pitamaha. But Arjuna shot, and Bhishma Pitamaha was lying down on the battlefield, on the bed of arrows. So this news came to Dhritarashtra. This news was revealed to Dhritarashtra on the 10th day of the war. So Dhritarashtra was very, very shocked and very dejected, became very dejected and shocked beyond words. He never expected such a thing to happen. So Sanjay, he gave this news to Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra, he wanted to know that how Arjuna, who had so much of affection and so much of love for Bhishma Pitamaha, how he could fight with Bhishma Pitamaha. Also, before the war, Dhritarashtra had sent a message to the Pandavas, which had also created a lot of confusion in the minds of few Pandavas, especially Arjuna and all. So Dhritarashtra was amazed, and he guessed that something must have happened which gave Arjuna that courage and that steadiness and that clear thinking to fight with Bhishma Pitamaha, because he was on the side of Adharma. And to fight with Adharma, we need that courage and understanding, especially if the person is someone near and dear to us, but on the opposite side. So Dhritarashtra, he asked Sanjaya that question, the famous question with which the Bhagavad Gita begins. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya. Ki he Sanjaya, कि on this Kurukshetra, which is Dharmakshetra, a battlefield which is very auspicious also, where my sons and the sons of my brother Pandu had assembled along with their armies. You please tell me what happened on that first day, because he had not asked about it and he did not bother about it in the beginning, but now he wanted to know that please tell me what happened on that first day of the war. Before the war began, something must have happened which totally transformed Arjuna, that he could fight with Bhishma Pitamaha. Please tell me what happened. Mamaka Pandavascheva kim akurvata Sanjaya. What did my sons and Pandu's son do on the battlefield? So that is how the Bhagavad Gita begins. And then Sanjay describes, first he describes and talks about Duryodhana, because that is where Dhritarashtra's love and attachment was. Then from Duryodhana, Sanjaya shifts Dhritarashtra's attention towards Bhishma, towards Dronacharya, and then he shifts the attention towards Arjuna and Krishna. And then he remains with Krishna and Arjuna only till the end. So Sanjay tells Dhritarashtra that Bhagwan Sri Krishna that Krishna is not an ordinary person. He is Sakshat, that Bhagwan. And he revealed the most amazing knowledge to Arjuna, which has the power to overcome all confusions of the world, which has the power to make a person strong and bold and courageous, to face all challenges of one's life. So Sanjay describes the whole thing in detail, the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. And Dhritarashtra is listening. See, unfortunately, Dhritarashtra was not only blind physically, but he had so much of attachment to his own son that his mind and intellect also got clouded because of this attachment. That though this great knowledge was revealed to him, and from all that was heard, one can easily understand that that Krishna is Sakshat, that Bhagwan, not an ordinary person. That any other person with little bit of understanding and freedom from attachment could have made, at least at that time, he would have decided to prevent this war. But it never happened. Dhritarashtra was totally blind, inside as well as outside. So Sanjaya had heard this Bhagavad Gita 10 days ago. He had seen Bhagwan's that Virat Rupa. He was totally fascinated and totally wonderstruck, not only by what Bhagwan has told Arjuna, the teaching, but also by the great form which he saw. Therefore, at the end of this Bhagavad Gita also, Sanjay is remembering that. He is remembering that only. Rajan sansmritya sampadam imam adbhutam keshavarjunayo punyam rishyami muhurmuhu. Taccha sansmritya rupam atyadbhutam harehe vismayo me mahan rajan rishyami cha punah punaha. The concluding verses of Bhagavad Gita, Sanjay is saying that I am remembering the wonderful dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, and it's giving me so much joy. And he says, I am remembering again and again the most wonderful form of Krishna. And I am feeling that great sense of peace and joy in my heart. So Sanjay is a very special person who had these blessings from his teacher, Vedavyasji, and he had this opportunity to listen to Bhagwan Krishna and also to see through Arjuna's eyes, also directly he could see Bhagwan's that Adbhut Rupa. So Sanjay is again to tell that Dhritarashtra is totally blind. First of all, we should have eyes to see the world properly. That comes to us by the blessings of our own parents who give birth to us, and we are able to see this beautiful world with our eyes. But then we need the blessings of our teacher to get spatial vision by which we can hear Bhagwan's words, which are there in our scriptures. And if we, by Bhagwan's blessings, if we get that Divya Drishti, we can directly see and experience Bhagwan. So Sanjay, he is speaking here. Sanjay Uvacha. He says, Hey Rajan, O my dear king. He is speaking to Dhritarashtra. Ki Hey king, ki evam uktva tataha mahayogeshwaro harihi. That Mahayogeshwara Harihi, Krishna, who is Hari. Hari means one haran karne wale, who takes away all our sorrows, pain, suffering, our ignorance. He is the great Hari, haran करने वाले हैं. भक्तों के दुख दर्द अज्ञान को हरण करने वाले ऐसे हरि. And he is Mahayogeshwara, who is the Ishvara of Yoga, not an ordinary Ishvara, Maha Ishvara, Maheshwara, the great, glorious Lord of Yoga, Ishvara, Master of Yoga. Mahayogeshwaro Harihi. Evam uktva, having said thus to Arjuna, what Bhagwan spoke, that see my form and I will give you this divine vision. So having spoken thus, evam uktva, tataha, thereafter, darshayamasa parthaya. Bhagwan started showing to Partha, to Arjuna. Darshayamasa, started revealing, started showing. What? Paramam Rupam Aishwaram, his Parama Rupa, his supreme form and his supreme glory, Aishwaram. Vishwarupam Aishwaram. Bhagwan started showing his form to Arjuna by the power of his yoga. See, when Bhagwan takes avatar, though Bhagwan has taken avatar as a human being, and he was living, behaving like a human being, but that doesn't mean he has become a human being. But he expressed everything as a human being. But Bhagwan is always Bhagwan. Ishvara is always Ishvara. Ishvara never gets deluded. Ishvara never becomes small. Ishvara never falls down from his glory. Ishvara remains Ishvara ever. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaha. He has all the powers. So through his Yoga Shakti, through his own Yoga Shakti, Bhagwan revealed his glorious form to Arjuna. Through his Yoga Shakti, Bhagwan gave that divine vision to Arjuna and started revealing his that wonderful form to Arjuna on his request. So, Darshayamasa Parthaya Paramam Rupam Aishwaram Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram. So here Sanjaya is seeing that Rupa he is describing. He is seeing the form of Ishvara and he is describing that. He is seeing Arjuna is watching that form and he is describing in his own words. So here what Sanjay is saying is the description is given. Let us chant verse number 10. Anek vaktra nayanam anekadbhuta darshanam aneka divyabharanam divyanekodyatayudham. Bhagwan revealed that Vishvarupa. The entire Vishvarupa means the entire Vishva as his Rupa, the universal form. But with the divine vision only one can see the universal form at one go. See, for example, our own huge galaxy is there, the Milky Way. From where we are now on Earth, when we look up in the sky at night, we see a little portion of that Milky Way. We see billions of those stars all across the sky. A white patch of stars in a clear night without pollution. If one have to look up, nowadays we don't see because a lot of pollution. But if one looks up, then we can see a portion of that Milky Way. Therefore it is called Milky Way because it's like a milk. It's like a huge river of milk. But that is only a little portion of the Milky Way which we are seeing. But this is our galaxy, and there are many other galaxies are there. And the galaxies which are very far away, though there are billions of stars in those galaxies, but from here when we look with the help of our telescope and all, then the far away galaxy looks like one star. Many of them look like only one star. Because it's so far away, the billions of stars are seen together, they look like one star. And if you focus the direction of that telescope on that one star and increase the what you call its power, then in that one star suddenly we see that, oh, it is a big Milky Way with many stars. So depending on how far we are and what type of vision we have, we can see even a large thing as a small, in a small place. So here, though Bhagwan is vast, infinite, with billions and billions of galaxies and everything in him, at one go, nobody can see him. But with this divine vision, Arjuna had this, got this opportunity to see everything with his the divine eyes. He could just see the whole thing. He could see Ishvara in his glorious form. I am giving worldly examples so that we get a little bit idea. Like we see in our television also. So small television is there, but see huge mountains and rivers and space and so many things we see in that tiny little place. Or our mobile. We can see so many things in that small object. So Arjuna could see the entire cosmos in front of him as that Ishvara, Virat, Vishvarupa. So here Sanjay is describing, he says that form of Ishvara, how is it? Aneka Vaktra Nayanam. He could see Aneka Vaktra, means Aneka Mukha. So many faces were seen in Ishvara. Many faces were there. And Aneka Nayanam, and many eyes. So many faces with so many eyes. Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, and so many wonderful things he could see. Adbhuta. Aneka Adbhutani, Vismapakani, Ashcharyakani. Means those things which makes us wonder, like creating wonder in our heart. Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, you could see. Aneka Divyabharanam, and Bhagwan was wearing Aneka Divya, divine Abharanam, dresses, different types of dress. And Divya Aneka Udyata Ayudham, and holding different types of weapons in his various arms. Majestic form Bhagwan first showed to Arjuna, and Sanjay could see his glorious form with countless heads, with countless eyes, with countless hands, countless legs, wearing different types of dress, and wielding different types of weapons. Glorious, you can't imagine actually. Most fascinating. See, there is a description of that Virat Purusha in our Vedas, in the Purusha Suktam also, beautiful description is there. Om Sahasrashirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishvato Vritva Atyatishtat Dashangulam Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yaccha Bhavyam Utamrutatvasyeshanah Yadannena Tirohati Etavanasya Mahima Ato Jayagascha Purushaha Padosya Vishva Bhutani Tripadasya Divi. Like that. That Virat Purush, having countless heads, countless eyes, countless hands, legs. See, we see only few beings here on earth, but the entire cosmos is filled with infinite different variety of beings. There are aneka loka and aneka types of beings are there everywhere. We have not yet discovered the beings elsewhere in other planets and other places, but maybe in future we will be able to discover. There are some scientists who are working on that. They have this theory, panspermia, it is called panspermia, that life is present everywhere. So the different types of life. But the interesting thing is that human being, this human form, is quite a interesting and a very beautiful form in which all the possibilities of expression are there. We have our 5 organs of perception, action, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Everything gets expressed through this body. This is the most fascinating body which we have, a human body. There are other creatures who have less organs expressed in their bodies. They have limitations of their bodies, wherein their expressions are limited. Just like we have this, what we call our smartphone, and the phone which we used to use few years ago, ordinary phone. That phone had limited features, but now we have more complex features in our phones. So there are billions and billions of, not billions, infinite beings are there. But who are all these beings? Who is the Atma of all these beings? Ishvara. Who is seeing through all of them? Ishvara. Ishvara is seeing through all of them. So his eyes are there everywhere. His hands are there everywhere. Sarvata Panipadam. His hands, legs are there everywhere. He alone is functioning through everyone. If one has to see this together properly in one place, you will see multitude of eyes, ears, nose, hands, legs, faces everywhere. See, again to give example of this cricket telecast. So many cameras are there put in every place. There are cameras in those stumps also. where we can hear and see. There are cameras which are flying on top with that, what do you call that, drones. And there are cameras on some line which moves with full speed. And all these cameras, whatever they see is brought together in one place, and it is edited which camera to be shown to the people and all, and then immediately it is shown. So Ishvara has his eyes everywhere, his ears everywhere, his hands everywhere, his legs everywhere. He is present everywhere. And at the same time, he knows everything. See, if we have to even identify with some other person and have to see what that other person sees and know what the other person thinking, that itself will create so much confusion in our life. Our own experiences are creating confusion. If we add to that another person's experience, we will go mad. But Ishvara is the Atma of all, and at the same time he sees everything that all of us are seeing. Therefore he is called Sarvajna Sarvavita. He knows everything in general and he knows everything in particular. So Aneka Vaktra Nayanam, Anekadbhuta Darshanam. So as I said, with the limited vocabulary and the language, Bhagwan's that form is being described here. Suppose a person from a forest dweller who was born and brought up in forest only, living there with his family, happened to come to a city, and then he sees so many buildings, multi-storied buildings. He sees cars and different types of vehicles and trains and metros and aeroplanes and all sorts of ship and this and that, and so many variety of things he sees in a city. After staying and experiencing all this for a month, he goes back to his forest and his family members are there, and they ask him that what did you see? His vocabulary is still of the forest only. So with the forest vocabulary, you can imagine how he will be able to describe what he saw. The planes, the skyscrapers, the vehicles, the objects. So same difficulty is there in Sanjaya and Arjuna also to describe the glory of Bhagwan. So Sanjay says, I can see Ishvara having so many face with so many eyes, Aneka Vaktra Nayanam, Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, and most wonderful, fascinating form of Ishvara. Aneka Divya Bharanam, wearing different types of dress. Divya Aneka Udyata Ayudham, and holding different types of weapons. Anekani Udyatani Ayudhani Yasmin Tad Divya Aneko Udyata Darshayamasa iti Purvena Sambandha. All this he could see, and he said, this is what Bhagwan showed to Arjuna. He is telling Dhritarashtra that this is the wonderful form Bhagwan is showing to Arjuna. further. He describes Divyamalyambaradharam Divyagandhanulepanam Sarvascharyamayam Devam Anantam Vishvato Mukham. He says Divya Malyambaradharam. He is Abharanam Aneka Divya Abharanani. Previously he saw different types of Abharanam, different ornaments. And now he says Divya Malyambaradharam. He is Bhagwan is wearing Divyani Malyani, Pushpani, different types of malas, Pushpa malas and all. And Ambarani, and different types of Vastrani, different types of dress. So Bhagwan having so many face, so many eyes, hands, legs, wearing different types of dress, wearing different types of ornaments, holding different types of ayudha, Divya Malyambaradharam, and different malas. And Divya Gandhanulepanam, and he has applied different types of gandha, perfume, gandha, sandalwood paste, all over his body. Divya, divine paste, sandalwood paste, anulepanam, applied to his body. See this description which is here. One can meditate on this Virat Roop of Bhagwan. That is what is called as Saguna Dhyana or Vyaktopasna. Because this question will be asked then in the 12th chapter. Arjuna asks the question that what is better, to meditate on the Vyakta Roop of Bhagwan or the Vyakta. Bhagwan says both are good, but the Vyakta is easier, better. So here the manifested form of Ishvara is being described. So those who want to meditate, description will be helpful. So Divya Malyambaradharam Divya Gandhanulepanam Sarvascharyamayam Devam. Sarva Ascharyamayam Devam. This Devata, Ishvara, Vishwarup is Sarva Ascharyamayam, is the most Ascharya, most wonderful. See, Ascharya, a wonder, is experience. When we see something, we experience something, but we can't explain, we can't describe, we don't understand, but we experience. It's called Ascharya. Ascharya means आश्चर्यति, ऐसा मुंह खुल जाता है. We can't describe. Our intellect stops. See, intellect has got this habit of describing and explaining and giving commentary on everything we experience. Intellect is like a all-knower, always tells us whatever we see, whatever we are experiencing, in its own way, the intellect explains to us. But sometimes we see certain things in life that intellect fails to explain. Intellect doesn't understand. So it just stops. So we experience that as Ascharya. Like little children, when they see a magic show, the hat is there, and suddenly from that hat, which was shown to everyone, is totally empty, and then from that hat, the magician takes out a rabbit. Children look, कैसे हो गया ये? उसको आश्चर्य बोलते हैं. So here about Ishvara, that Virat Vishwarup, everything is Ascharya. Sarva Ashcharyamayam. Everything is Ashcharyamayam. Devam. Anantam. Infinite. Ishvara is infinite. That infinity cannot be actually confined in any vision. But here, by Bhagwan's blessings, Arjuna got that vision that he could appreciate the infinity of Ishvara in front of him. Sarva Ashcharyamayam Devam Anantam Vishvato Mukham. And Ishvara is Vishvato Mukham. His Mukha is in all direction. Because he is present in everyone. Sarvato Mukham, Sarva Bhutatmatvat. Because Ishvara is the Atma of all beings. So his Mukha is everywhere. Bhagwan is not only what we see, but Bhagwan is the seer in all. Just imagine if one can see all the seers what they can see at the same time. See, even an object, we can't see an object fully, completely. Like they do scanning and brain scan and all. So that they get a three-dimensional view of the brain. So they know what is happening. So we see only from one direction, but just imagine that you are able to see what all the beings are seeing at the same time. You can't imagine. And that is what the vision is. Bhagwan has got his mukha everywhere because he is the self of all. So Divya Malyambaradharam Divya Gandhanulepanam Sarvascharyamayam Devam Anantam Vishvato Mukham. So this beautiful form Sanjay saw Bhagwan with infinite heads, infinite hands, legs, face, eyes, wearing different types of ornaments, wearing different types of dress, holding different types of weapons in his various arms. Most fascinating, most surprising, wonderful form of Ishvara Sanjay he saw. He could see it. More about this we will see in the next shloka. Sanjay, he describes, giving some example, very famous example. So the brilliance and glow of that Vishwarupa Sanjay is describing, that we will see in our class tomorrow. So you please take care of yourself, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. But also you read this, read your notes, listen to the talk again, and visualize this form of Bhagwan. That visualization is also a great sadhana, and we have the power in our antakarana to visualize. From the description we can visualize as per our own capacity, as per our own feeling, bhavana. We can visualize the wonderful form of Ishvara. That will really be a great thing. It will not only purify our mind, but we will tune ourselves to Ishvara, and we will remember his mahima, his glory. Because many times it's, due to our smallness of our own antakarana, we try to bring down Bhagwan. We limit him. We put him into a particular form. We limit him. Just by seeing him in a particular murti and this and that, we limit his glory. But Bhagwan is very vast, is infinite, and even meditating on that infinity will purify our mind, and we will receive Bhagwan's blessings. Okay? So more about this we'll see in our class tomorrow. We will meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Boliye Syavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.